first and all that. Okay, David, how are you feeling after last week's game going into this one?
Just pleased that you got that camera sorted. That's what I'm pleased about. Go on.
Called out. Yes, okay, so tell me about how you're approaching this one after last week's away fixture.
Looking forward to it. It's an opportunity for the players to try and progress. The challenge has been set. I think we've improved game on game, the 3 games that we played so far competitively. So we're asking the players to improve on a small percentage on a daily basis, on a weekly basis. You basically get thrown in at the deep end. The Irish League clubs, and I know there's been a lot of discussions around changes in league formats and schedules, etc., and whatever else, but it's not a normal pre-season. You don't get 7-8 weeks in preparation and build into it. You have 5-6 pre-season games. You basically get thrown into one of your biggest games, certainly against Shelbourne, after 3.5-4 weeks. So I think the players have conducted themselves well. I think our fitness levels have been good. We've been more than competitive in all 3 games. And if we can improve on certainly last week's performance against Zalgiris, the players have given themselves an opportunity.
What have you learned over those 3 games? As you say, you're thrown into the deep end, but are you happy with the progress over those 3 games?
Absolutely, and I think there's been signs of improvement. And the players will tell you at the minute is that we want improvements in everything that we've done. If you stagnate, if you stay the same, if there's a little bit of complacency sets in, I was surprised at the level of certainly points difference last year that we won the league, because everybody was talking about the competitive nature of the league. So probably it surprised me, it maybe surprised the players a little bit. I'm sure it surprised everybody involved with the local game that how convincingly we won the league title. So if we stay the same level as we were last year, we potentially won't win the league this year. So we're asking for improvements. We look forward to that. I think we've got the buy-in from the players, and you need that from people like Kirk, the more senior players who have been here, seen it, done it. We've regained the title before, we've retained the title, and if we didn't win the league last year, it would be important that we regain it. So it's equally as important this year that we try and retain it, and we'll certainly be trying to do our utmost to try and do that.
Before the league gets underway, this is obviously very important. You doing well in Europe. You've been on record talking about that before. What are your targets for, have you put your targets out there, and have you made that very clear to your players?
No, I don't think we go on targets again with the draw that we got in Lithuania. That you always sort of felt we were there 4 years ago, and we were well beaten over both legs, which was disappointing. I think they've changed probably 95% of the team. There's 1 or 2 still in and around it. I know the skipper Verbicus, who played against us last week, was probably the only player who played here 4 years ago, so there's been a lot of turnover and a lot of turnaround. I don't think and again, I know Kirk's sat beside me here, and the senior players in the dressing room, we don't really set targets. We know what the target is. The target's been set for 140 years at this football club, so there's only one target in mind when we start any season, no matter what level of sort of competition that you're going to face. So that will be the aim. We don't talk about it further into the season, when you set little, maybe small goals and different objectives along the way, but we certainly don't set targets at the end of the season, because as soon as anybody signs for this football club, I've re-signed the contract for the foreseeable future and whatever else, but I know what the target is.
You have been talking about the fans this week, about the disappointment of some of the fans here, but you've also talked after last week's game about how there wasn't much of an atmosphere, but you're expecting an atmosphere here which will hopefully help your players. So what's your message to with all that in mind, and what you've been through the last few weeks? What's your message to
get behind the club, keep getting behind the club. And again, I stated the other day that it's always disappointing, especially when it gets to the European game and you work hard and the prize money's there for progressing through rounds, but it's also disappointing when you get a large crowd that we did in the Champions League game, then to sort of forfeit some of it for a very, very small minority. I must say, and it's always been a small minority. I've been on record to say that certainly myself as the manager, the chairman and the board of directors and everybody involved at the football club, we tried harder than anyone to try and eliminate it. But I think eliminating anything from today's society in terms of culture in Northern Ireland is very difficult. But we always feel as if we're punished for it. When, again, listen, nobody wants to see it, hear it, face it, whatever else that's being that's happening at games. But we've been at our wits' end basically as a football club to try and eliminate it. And there's sometimes in culture today's society that there's just small things that you can't eliminate.
As you say, it's only a small section, but you'll rely heavily now on big support tomorrow night.
We have an unbelievable support when they get behind us. This place, European nights, I've certainly had some of my best nights here, European nights, and I enjoyed the Shelbourne game, the atmosphere, the electricity. The only disappointment in that game was probably we didn't put them on the back foot by taking the lead, because it would have been interesting to see how the game would have panned out then if we had taken the lead. We were always sort of chasing the game, and then when we did get into the game, when it was level and when it was a draw here, we put ourselves on the back foot with a red card. So Windsor's always, and people talk about, some of the league games can be a little bit dreary at times with 2,500 people in an 18,000 stadium, but the European nights in general mostly, they've always created a good atmosphere, and it's down to the players and myself tomorrow night to certainly start on the front foot, get the supporters a lift, and then it's also important for them when there's going to be periods in the game tomorrow night that we need a little bit of urgency and a little bit of backing that they get behind us, because we do have an unbelievable set of supporters. Our away supporters travel in huge numbers, which helps so many other clubs in the league when we do travel domestically. And when the supporters do get behind us here as a home crowd, they can be certainly more influential.
Thank you. Kirk, just over to you. Just on that support, you have experienced a lot of that at your time here. Just how important will it be tomorrow night?
Yeah, it's always good to have a big support behind you. As the manager said, there wasn't much atmosphere at the game last week, and it's always good atmosphere at Windsor on a European night. I've had some good nights here myself, and I'm really looking forward to it tomorrow night.
As a senior player, as your manager said there, how much responsibility falls on the likes of you tomorrow night to perform?
Yeah, listen, I've played a lot of games now in Europe, as is Jamie and Shieldsy and boys like that there, and it takes us to drive the younger boys through big nights like that, and we have been there and done it, and hopefully go and do it tomorrow night again.
You've been on good results and you've been on the end of bad results, and they're really hard to take. Does that drive you on in these fixtures, knowing what's at stake here?
Yeah, listen, I've been knocked out times before, and it's been difficult to take, and I think that's built a good stay for the whole group moving forward, and we look forward to a big night tomorrow night and to get a big result. And
as your manager said, just looking ahead to the season, the expectation is to be better again. Is that a constant every season that comes up at Linfield? It's to be better and better and better. Yeah,
listen, you put the shirt on, you know what it's expected of you. You show up in pre-season, it's everything else is forgot about from the last season. You go and do your job again, and that's it.
Thank you.
Dave, how important is this match to the football club?
You wrote about it last night, Biko, so you should know.
Asking your opinion.
My opinion is you're absolutely, in my opinion, again, I think it's a big game. I think it'd be a long... Don't agree with the quote where it says it's our biggest game, because again, we're going to have so many big games this year, hopefully, in terms of league. It's our biggest game at the minute because it's our next game. And I always state when we play here, certainly in Europe, the financial opportunities are. I did state, and I was being honest, weeks ago when we sat down before the Shelbourne game, that unless the progression in Europe was going to be possible for us in getting through either a Champions League round or Europa Conference round, that the finances may not be there. I also stated that we don't have the luxury of some of the other clubs with the a huge investment which seems to be coming in, and the continuing investment with some of the other clubs. So we have to do a little bit differently. I don't think anybody outside Linfield will feel sorry for David Healy or Linfield Football Club if we don't sign anybody. If anything, it'll probably be mostly greatly appreciated if we don't add to the squad. But even last year, I was questioned last year with is the squad going to be good enough? Is it going to be big enough to be signing the players in the correct position? I have huge belief and trust in the players. I have that going into this season. You always want to add a little bit to it, but I think we added to it in January. We went a different route. Normally we wait the sort of pre-season and then you scramble around, you maybe bring 3, 4, 5 players in. We went a different route this time, and the players that we brought in, albeit obviously Alex got injured, which is disappointing, but it will return certainly for the start of or in and around the league season, the end of August. So the other 2 lads have done okay since they've been in, Kieran and Callum, and I would expect serious improvements going forward because they understand the football club, they understand the environment, they've more frequent training with the players, which gives them the opportunity then to be better come on match day. So we expect improvements in not only the new players coming in, but Kirk, Jamie Mulgrew, Chris Shields, the experienced players, Chris Johns, all the lads who have been in here for multiple years, multiple league successes. I'm still pushing these in the daily limit, and I know they get frustrated, the senior players, when I'm demanding high standards of them. Sometimes there's a little bit of shrugging of the arms at times from some, but I still demand so many high standards, especially of the senior players. If I felt that they were at their limit and there was no improvements left in it, the likelihood is maybe, and we have a saying at Linfield Football Club, if you start in the coasting mode, basically coasters coast out of a football club. And I know a few of the players who will listen to that, the boys who have been here and left, for various different reasons, either couldn't go full time or while age maybe caught up, maybe they moved on for different reasons. They know the standards that we set, and as Kirk says, and we always set out the target is can we be better, can we improve, and until that day is done for me, Linfield manager, I've signed an extension to keep me here for another number of years, and I expect daily improvements, weekly improvements. Can we go and improve the league? You only have to look at the huge investment that Coleraine have made. Coleraine will be and should be probably head and shoulders above starting as favourites to win the league this year. You've Glentoran again, more huge investment, continued huge investment. Lauren look as if they've got obviously Kenny. The job that Kenny done was phenomenal. He was a brilliant man. He wasn't brilliant as such for Linfield as a football club, because he probably cost us 2 league titles and us finishing second. With the continued investment and basically the professionalism that Kenny came in with has changed the culture of the football club, and helped enable clubs and want clubs then to go full time. So there's a new investor in there, there's new investment coming into Cliftonville. We played Glenavon the other day, and again, huge respect for Paddy, I always have done. The level of player that Glenavon are signing, Glenavon finished 8th or 9th maybe last year in the league. They've signed well. Ballymena have signed well again, which they did last. There's all of a sudden money coming in left, right and centre. Stephen Baxter has signed Billy Joe Burns, Leggy, Callagher, experienced players that he knew from Crusaders, but senior players in the league. And Carrick's a difficult place to go, so they'll improve from they were in the playoff for relegation last year. So Bangor coming in, what's going to happen with Bangor? So you only have to look at the huge investment that some of these other clubs, but as I state, and it's not putting extra pressure on, because we are as a football club expected to win the league this year. But there's going to be serious pressure on your Coleraine, your Glentorans, who by the way didn't finish in Europe last year and financially lost out. So there's going to be huge pressure on the investment that they put into the football club.
You really think Coleraine are favourites to win?
Absolutely. Do you not?
No.
Who do you think's favourites?
Your favourites.
Right. Well,
you've been there, done it. Coleraine aren't favourites in my book, but obviously you see it differently.
Yeah. The old saying, and people always say it, and I hear it all the time, and I heard it from day one coming into this. I probably heard it 30 years ago before I left to go and play in England, that the old saying is, whoever finishes above Linfield will probably win the league, which has been the case over the last number of years. People will probably state that this year. There'll be other clubs, managers going on the back foot and basically throwing Linfield, title favourites and big favourites to the big squad and everything else. But that's nothing new. Something that we've coped with, I've coped with, and the players have coped with. So we look forward to that challenge. But when you look at it, factual, the level of squad, the level of investment into some of the other clubs, they should be doing, or they should be having successful seasons this year.
Back to Europe, do you relish the win or bust scenario with all of this? Because obviously you had a second chance after Shelburne, but this is it now. You lose tomorrow night, you're out of Europe. It's
not something that I mention to the players, win or bust. They understand situations, we understand situations, and I certainly do. So, what I don't want to be doing is what some of the journalists are doing at the minute, trying to add a little bit more extra pressure on. But the players understand that the opportunities are to progress through a round. We played well last week in Zalgiris. They're coming. They lost 2-0 in their last away leg against Hamron and Malta. So it's an opportunity for us to, if we're at a level where we can create opportunities, I think we've got players who can take them, so we look forward to that.
Are you concerned, Dave, that in 4 games this season you've only scored 1 penalty?
No.
Why not?
Because I know we have the players capable of scoring goals. I knew before you finished your question what you were asking. People says before we won the league last year, did we have enough goal scorers in the team to go and win the league? We did. Do I feel as if with the attacking prowess and the attacking quality that we have in the dressing room to go and score goals this year? Absolutely.
Any injuries?
Yes.
Who?
You'll find out tomorrow if you come and watch the match, Stephen.
Fair enough.
We have Dave McCulloch.
Normally managers will give you an idea who's in and who's out.
Yes, Dave McCulloch is injured. He missed last week. Eunice come off last week against Zalgiris after 35 minutes, so the likelihood is that Ewan will miss out. Robbie McDade, Alex Gorham, Kai McLean's making good progress, who's been available he came off the bench last week, albeit probably a reluctant one for me, wanting to put Kyle on the pitch. He played 45 minutes against Glenavon, and there's 1 or 2 in and around, maybe carrying a lot of knocks, but they will be assessed probably closer to the time tomorrow.
Kirk, what about you? How do you see this one? Do you see it as win or bust?
No, I think it's a good chance for us to go and get a result. We've done the hard work, we've been over there and got a good result. I think we were unlucky last week as well. I think if we go out tomorrow night and really have a go at it, we've got a good chance.
You've been here even longer than David. How have Linfield progressed in Europe in your time, do you feel?
Yeah, I think we've done well, and we've been unlucky a couple of years as well. We've had some good games and some unbelievable runs in it as well. And my thing, I want to go through and go as far as I can in it.
Do you think Linfield can get to the group stages?
Yeah, 100%. We've got the good squad there to go and do whatever we want to do. We've proved ourselves last year. As you've seen, we won the league with about 26 points or whatever, and we know we can go and win games of football. And I think as a squad, we're 100% confident we can go and win any game of football.
And given that the opposition next, if you win tomorrow night, are from the Faroe Islands, does that give you even more incentive to go out and do the business tomorrow night?
No, we don't really look at the next game after. We kind of concentrate on the game we have ahead of us tomorrow night. There's no point in looking ahead when we haven't got over the first stage. It's all about tomorrow night, really. And
what do Linfield need to do to beat this team? You obviously played against them last week. Where are their weaknesses?
I think we had to concentrate on ourselves. We had to proper go for it and go all out attack really and try and score. We have to win the game, simple, and that's what we're set out to do.
Just out of interest, what's your favourite European memory playing for Linfield?
It's probably the Bodo Glint goal, the first game, probably not the second one, but that's probably my favourite, personal anyway.
And does a result like that, because we've all seen what Bodo Glint have gone on to do, does a result like that give you guys confidence that you can beat this team tomorrow night?
Yeah, listen, it 100% gives you confidence. We as a squad believe in ourselves, and you have to, and we're right up for it tomorrow night. And with a big crowd behind us tomorrow night at Windsor Park, you can nick any result.
Thanks, gentlemen.